Hi everyone, this video is on exercise 9 equation 8. So we are given this triangle and cos ABC, angle ABC is equal to 5 over 8, which is essentially this angle. Now in part A, we want to calculate the value of x. Alright, so in part A, this is actually a very standard cosine rule because we obviously have three of the side lengths and one of the angles, but not directly. However, we have the cos of that angle, which is going to be very useful. So we can use the cosine formula and just form the equation that we have b squared is equal to a squared plus c squared minus 2ac cos b. Now, so remember that the reason that we are setting up the equation like this is because of the fact that this angle B is the angle that is in between of the two sides, and therefore we have to use that angle. And in order to use that, then we need to set up the equation in this form, that basically the third side that is not in between of the angles, that's the one that is going to be on the left hand side and everything else on the right hand side of the equation. Okay, now we just substitute the values. So we have x plus 1 squared is equal to 6 squared plus 2 squared minus 2 times 6 times 2 times cos ABC, but you're given the value actually, so that's even better. Right, so now we just basically need to rearrange this equation and solve that. So we have x squared plus 2x plus 1 here is equal to 36 plus 4, and then here becomes 15, so minus 15 on this side. And now we have x squared plus 2x minus 24 is equal to 0, and we can factorize this and rewrite this as x plus 6 times x minus 4 is equal to 0. Therefore, one of the solutions is minus 6 and the other one is 4. However, this is the solution that we accept because x has to be positive, because side length is a positive value, and if x is negative, then this side length is going to be negative, which is invalid. And now in part B, we want to find the area of the triangle ABC. So remember that again, in general, one of the formulas which is very helpful to find the area of a triangle is half AB sine theta, where basically AB are the side lengths and theta is the angle in between of them. And this is the formula that we use in questions like this. So in this question, we can, for example, start with here, because we have this side, and we also have the cosine of this angle in between of them. But remember, the formula requires the sine of that. So we can't directly use this value, and this is the interesting part of the question because part A is very standard. Now, one of the things is that to find a sine, because we don't have any angles here, so we can simply use a very important and powerful trigonometric identity, which is often the first trigonometric identity that you learn, which is sine squared x plus cos squared x is equal to 1. And this is very powerful because in this question we need sine x, but obviously the formula has sine squared x, which is fine. But we also have the the cos squared x, so we can do 1 minus cos squared x, which is, in this case, remember that we have 5 over 8, right? So cos squared x then becomes 25 over 64. Therefore, we get 39 over 64. And when we take the square roots of both sides, we get root 39 over 8. Now that we have the value of sine, and the rest is very simple because we have half times 6 times 2. Again, 6 and 2 are just from here, so BC and BA times sine theta. In this case, that's root 3908. And the answer is equal to 4.68 centimeters squared to 3 significant figures.